Yo, what is going on, guys? Today we're making a Dokkan battle video. I recently started when Gohan came out, and then I saved up until he came out on Global, and then I've just been going through the motions there. There's a lot of stuff I didn't understand about the game, and that I'm starting to catch on to and being aware of. And I think that it'd be a good idea to explain it to others, or at least give them a general idea. First of all, I gotta let you know, it is a gacha game. Um, so it is luck heavy. Um, like it's not like Dragon Ball Legends where it's PvP, so if you don't have the best, you're not gonna be able to compete. But it is gonna be to an extent where you might not be able to do the hardest missions in the game or something like that, or the hardest content. So you will need to be able to, especially if you're free to play, be able to conserve. Not go all in on a either a crap unit or a unit you just don't like or a character you don't like. Since I don't know, like I didn't know a lot about it, I just thought that it would be a good idea to always give a first person perspective of the game and to help others with things that maybe I'm alone in that I just didn't understand. If you didn't know, uh, Dokkan Battle has two different versions: Japan, which is JP, and Global. Now for like nine and a half years ish, um, Doke or JP has been 6 months ahead or something like that, 5 months ahead of global. So a unit, say for instance, Beast Gohan, came out in like I think early February or late January, something like that, and then he just came on global like a month, 2 months ago, I think, the date, something like that. Um, but as of Worldwide Celebration, which is uh, start of September, late August, that's when they're syncing the schedule. So not everything is going to be the same, but like schedules of the new units coming out will be relatively the same, easy A's, stuff like that. But we'll get into a whole bunch of it, um, of that later. So first, I wanted to get started with Awakening. In Dokkan, there are tiers of characters, you could say, or tiers of Awakening is what it's called. So on teams, and you go to your character list, these are the units I have so far, but that doesn't really matter. Um, let's say you just summoned your new player, you just summoned this Bojack, right? And you're like, that's cool, and it says like LR. As soon as you get him, it pops up with an LR, right? You have him, that's cool. You want to wake him to an LR. So, um, like when you come over to him, this, you click on growth, and then you can see all the stages of that unit. So in his final form, or the best you can get him is here, is this LR version of him after EZAs. EZAs is like a Zenkai. It's like a refresher for older units to be better, in a way. So in this game, you pretty much want to awaken your characters to the max, I guess, form, and then they're more useful. So in the beginning, you would just go over here to training, and then don't worry about this top section yet, this training partners. Don't worry about this training items. You raise the training items. You can do auto, or you can come in here and manually select your items. And then this raises your level. So once you're done with that, you can also do training locations. I don't think those matter too much. Someone might have to correct me in the comments, but like they do like specific things like 70k XP, 50k XP, it's just like little bonuses like that. But then you can go over here and you can level him up. So now he is stronger. So if you see at the bottom it says like your stats go up. And then it says like max level release, you can now awaken. And then it brings you to this screen. And you're like, well, how do I get all these tokens? I'm new, I don't have like most of these tokens yet. So in this exchange shop down at the bottom right, you can typically go to Zenny and see if you can get training items if you're not able to level up your characters enough to level 80 or whatever is needed. And you can come down here and get, say you're needing this bug or needing any of these items, and you just get it for Zenny. You might also be thinking, hey, I don't have enough Zenny. I just don't have enough. And that's also fine. So if you come in here to team, and at the top it says sell. Now on the first page it'll show you like excess. So these are not units that you can use that I know of. And then these statues here, for example, like this silver one, this gold, this silver one, and then this like UR one. These are all pretty much just coins, just zenny. So what you can do if you have any is you come here and just sell it, and then you see how it says, I don't know what the number is that a million, 10 million, whatever, and you just sell it, and that's free zenny. Those aren't used for anything else that I'm aware of. And once you're done with that, you can just come back, get the zenny, and then you can come back and awaken your new character, the one you wanted. You can awaken them. So then once you have all of your medals, now if for whatever reason, I'm not sure if it's a thing, but if you can't get these from the Zenny shop, what you can do is like tap on them or hold on them, and you might see like you get them from a special thing. So a medal required primary for end, difficult to get. So like this one doesn't have anything like listed specifically, but once you have them like enough, you can awaken, and then this grants you the UR version or form of them. Hidden potential, we'll go over that later, and you can go back to training. Same thing, do the auto, you level it up, but now this time is different for LR units only. Well, no, I'll take that back. It isn't, but you get to this point, and you're like, whoa, these are different coins. You know, I don't have these, and I don't see them in the shop. Well, these are different. So what you can do is hold on to them, like I was saying earlier, and these are from specific, so character-specific medal required for awakening, obtainable from trial missions. So you get these from trial missions. So you come to missions, and you go over to trials, and it'd just be some of these. Yeah, right here. So like this one is clear this specific stage within a minute 30. And then like say you see this one, you want to do a minute 30, and you can just click attempt, and it'll bring you right to it. I'll go over like different types of like events and stuff later, because that's a whole nother like rabbit hole. But I'm just gonna keep going back to this for now. So now you have or whatever, you have some of them. So like this type of medal, it's a character specific for this guy. So you like some of them you just click go to event, and it might give you multiple options. I would typically say do the one that's on the highest rarity or highest difficulty, because those will grant you the most for one like mission, I guess, one go. So like this one's Z hard, normal, Z hard, and hard. So I'd go for the Z hard, and always do the hardest type of missions, because those will always get you the most rewards. Okay, so we just cleared the mission for the medals, and as you will see afterwards, I got 2 of the ones that I need. These Bojack ones, I got 2 of them. So that puts me at 7. So once you have enough medals, it's the same thing as we did last time. You just go to your character, growth, awaken, and you can awaken them into the, I think it's called a TUR. It goes SSR, UR, and then TUR. I think it's what it's called, but it's the same thing. Training items, and then you repeat the process for LR if it goes to an LR. So certain units only go to TUR, certain units go to LR, like this Bojack goes to LR. And it's the same thing. You go up to these medals, you see where to get them, and then you do whatever you need to go get these medals. Okay, so now that you know how to like rank up your units to TUR, LR, whatever. In the beginning, you probably won't be able to get your units to LR just because the events are just too difficult, and that's fine. Now I'm going to cover what is called the hidden potential system, which is like a skill tree for each unit. So I'll just come into the same guy, same Bojack. So as you can see, there's like all these options. Training, you've already seen, and awaken, you've already seen. But now we're going to go into hidden potential. And you got this entire skill tree. And if you do activate all, you might not be able to, because you need these spheres. Now I never had a problem with getting spheres. I'm not sure if there's a specific way to farm them or not. I know doing the EZA missions, if you're like out of them, say you need purple, you can get some by going into events right here, and then doing a Z battle, which matches the type or int. It matches the int. So from the top down is when they release. So typically the ones at the bottom are going to be easier. So you just find one that is an int unit, and you do that, and it'll give you some of those orbs. That's the only way I know of to get them. You also get them just like passively playing, I think, and some like other random missions and whatnot. So once you're in the hidden potential skill tree, you will see some of these up here, these like nodes, I guess you could say, slots. But pretty much these are your three main ones. So you got additional, or AA is what some people call it, crit, and dodge. Dodge is pretty much the chance to dodge. So the higher this number is, you see how there's a dash underneath it? Well, the higher that number, the more likely you are to dodge. Same with the crit and same with the additional. More chance to crit and more chance to additional. Now these two, this like, if you ever need to like understand stuff, this game is pretty decent at explaining stuff by clicking on it. It's like this one, it raises a type advantage attacks, and then this one raises defense against type advantage. Yeah, defense against type advantage. This one's like super attack damage, and then this one's healing. But I can activate all. So as you can see at the top, my Bojack now has 5 dodge. 5 of these two, and then 5 healing, and then 4 of super and 4 defense. And you might see, well, the tree's not finished. Well, that is where the gotcha system comes into play with duplicates. As you can see, like down here, there's these nodes right here. I don't have any copies of this Bojack or duplicates. So now, for example, let's take this GT Kid Goku, and do the same thing with the Bojack. You just come here, you select, and then you can choose the duplicate, the dupe is what people call it, and you can unlock it. So now you have active to this like skill tree. I can't stress this enough. Always do bottom right, top left, and then it doesn't matter between the top right and bottom left, but always do this one because you get more of these nodes right here. Now bottom right, you need to raise your super attack level, which I will get into later, but always do bottom right and then top left, and then you can choose between the others. Now, why do we want these sockets? So for instance, this is a unit I already have, quote, rainbowed. Now, when you have all of those 4 nodes unlocked on each corner, that's what we call, or once you have every node unlocked in the hidden potential system tree, that's what we call a rainbow. Because if you notice on these stars right here, next to the OR, it's rainbow. That means that you have the unit like maxed out in the hidden potential system. So let's just go back to this guy. So pretty much it's a choice. You get to say you have a unit that has really good additional and really good dodge. Well, you don't want to, like, you could put more into it. You know, this is your choice, but you can put dodge, crit, or dodge, or not dodge, crit, or additional, which is why I said these are the main 3, and that will just pretty much boost your number up. Those are like mini points of your choosing. So now you understand the hidden potential system, but what are these skill orbs? People might call them skill orbs, equips, whatever. These are pretty much a stat boost in a sort of way. So say you want just that little bit more of dodge, crit, or additional, or something like that. You can throw on, say, this, and it tells you, it scrolls by. It's a crit level 3, so that will give you 3 additional crit points. So that's in this slot, and then eventually when you get your super attack, which I will cover later, to level 10, you can get the second slot, and then you get the third one by having, I think it's 1 copy of a character. I think. Let's see here. I have 3 equips, and there's different ones. You know, they each of these up here have an equip, and some of them double. So like this, let me choose one that's better. This one. It's a skill orb that is crit and additional, but it's level 4 crit, additional and level 4 crit. Now certain ones will be specific to a unit. So for instance, this Beast Gohan has specific equipment. Right here it says newfound beyond Gohan Beast. Certain units will have specific equipment, and as of right now, the easiest way to get equipment for your units is to come to your home, go to missions, and then you will see this one right here. It gives you these tickets, and it just wants you to complete this that mission or that task, and you'll get a ticket. Now, you can only get one of those per day, but what you do is you take those tickets and you come to your exchange shop and you go to your secret treasure, and here you can exchange them, so you can get exclusive to movie bosses category. Now we'll go over categories later, and then those will only apply to certain categories. Now we're going to go into the specifics of a unit. Yeah. So now where you're on the unit and you're like, well, what's so different about each unit? Well, if you go down here to details list, there's a whole bunch of stuff on your stream. You might feel overwhelmed, but you have your HP, attack, and defense at the top. Very simple. You have your level you've already raised, or should have raised, or could have raised, whatever. And then you have a thing called a leader skill, super attack, and a passive. Now down here you see a hidden potential. We've already covered that. We have your thing is listed, and then it shows your copies right there and your percent. So people will say, oh, I'm at 55%, I'm at whatever percent, but in your hidden potentials tree, it shows it right here, 41. That means 41% of your tree, or a rainbow, is 100%. So the more copies you have, the higher percent you can have. Pretty much the better the unit is. But in the details list, what is a leader skill? Well, when you're making a team, you can come up here and say the Bojack, for example. If you notice, it says leader. So the first unit in the first slot gets to apply the leader skill. But the leader skill, it says extreme int type key, HP, attack at 90%, super int type key +2, and then HP, attack, and defense +60%. I should have explained this at the start, but units are different. So for example, Beast Gohan, I'm only using him as an example a lot because he's probably the most popular unit in the game, but he's a super STR. Now don't get super fixated on super, extreme, STR, or whatever, because basically that just means that super is good and then extreme, so like this Janemba is extreme. Those are like bad guys, pretty much, in simple terms. And then the typing, the only thing it matters is just because I'll show you later, but pretty much it's like rock, paper, scissors, kind of how STR is type advantage against physical, and then int is type advantage against tech, and tech is type advantage against AGL, and AGL is type advantage against STR. That's pretty much it. There isn't really a difference between them, just besides it's a color. So like, if they wanted to, they could change a unit's type and it wouldn't really affect much. But back to the team, we have the leader skill, extreme int. So what you can do, come to team formations, come down here. Now this will allow you to filter, it's pretty much as it says, and it was what, int extreme. So we go down to here, int extreme. So now every unit here can get this leader skill ability. So now all units I put in here that are extreme and int will get those buffs. I'm not going to re-say that. But it also says super int get a little bit less. So you can run super int, they will just be less. So say you have whatever team, doesn't really matter. Now these guys are all getting the leader skill because he's in the leader slot. So now we move into super attack. Super attack is just another stat, really. But if you hover over it, causes supreme damage to enemy and greatly lowers their defense. So now, as we were talking about earlier, you want to raise the level of super attacks. Well, how do you do that? I don't know if you can do it in game since I've never had to, but what you can do is you can go to trading, and then right here, how I was saying how waiting on the trading partners. In here, take up the filter. Well, I don't even see them. Oh, here we go. Here, so you remember how I said when you go to sell, there are these other guys besides those statues? Those are the guys that you will use. So this guy, for instance, he will give STRs bonus levels on their super attacks. So you might not have many of these, which is fine in the beginning. I would recommend saving these until you get units or a team that you really like or really enjoy, and then starting to maximize that team and then start getting one good team together so you can clear a whole bunch of events. But basically, you see how it raises it to level 10. I'm just going to do it to show you. This Bojack is pretty bad. That's the reason why I didn't awaken him in the first place. But now if we go to details, now it causes supreme damage and lowers defense. It didn't really change, but it won't because he's not in his full form. In his full form, it would do, I'll get into that later, some other stuff. But LRs and TORs are different because LRs have what's called an ultra super attack, which if you click, so you got your super attack here, and you can look at its effects, but you can click on details and you can see LRs and their super attacks. There's a difference between an 18 key and a 12 key. 18 keys are going to be the ultra attacks that I know of. I don't know if there's a unit that has an ultra attack lower than 18k, but basically they have different things. So this super attack greatly raises 80k in defense for one turn and causes colossal damage with a medium chance of stunning the enemy, while the ultra super attack greatly raises 80k in defense for one turn, causing mega colossal damage to enemy and lowers 80k in defense. So there is a difference between TURs and LRs in that. But I think that's all to cover on super attacks. And now we get into the what is becoming paragraphs at this point, passive skills. So these are pretty much what the unit is based off of. 80k, just pretty much these are all stat boosts. But certain units have, let's just take these guys for example. They're like the number one in the game right now, whatever. But their passive skill, it looks like a paragraph. But at the bottom it says, if there's another movie hero or all-out struggle, it gives 77% bonus for 2 turns to them. And so you can get bonuses for different varieties, whether it be key, doing super attacks, dodging, like this Gogeta, in his transform state, he needs to dodge, he can boost crit. So certain units have different effects. And LRs, I don't think there's a TUR with an active skill, maybe there is. They have an active skill. Now, active skills are like a main ability, I guess you could say. And you can see right here, underneath your passive skill, it's an active skill. Now these are pretty much, like I said, a main ability. And there's an activate and a skill effect. So the conditions can be activated starting from the next attacking turn after the character receives an attack, and it has an effect. It directs enemies' attacks towards the character, and all attacks become critical hits for 1 turn. Now, certain units will have different active skills. Like these guys have a standby mode rather than an active skill, which is pretty much like a transforming kind of. There's also transformation. transformation active skills where you can transform, like this Gogeta can transform starting from the 4th turn of this character's entry's turn into Blue Gogeta. But there are a lot of active skills, and in the beginning you probably won't have to deal with them or like use them a whole bunch because you'll be clearing. Once you have a all right team, you can probably clear most of the stuff, like the events you need, relatively quickly. I think that covers it for the passive and active skills. You're down to your hidden potential. We've covered the skill orbs. Now, link skills and categories. I'll just show, for example, the free-to-play Bardock team. This is a team I will recommend when we go into the missions later. Yeah. Also, if you didn't know, these are categories that you can search up for. Now, these guys, completely free to play. So basically, link skills are boosts when you have the characters next to each other that share the same link skills. So for instance, we have this Team Bardock here. Now, when you swap these characters around, you should know about that if you did the tutorial. You can swap these units around, making link skills either better, worse, or playing into a unit's passive skills. So like Beast Gohan, for example, he wants to be in slot 1. So slot 1 would be here. And where this blue guy is, there you go. So he can get hit. So, for instance, right here, you see how if you click on them, you can see these link skills are all lit up. That means they're active. But if we put them here, it's changed. Dang it. Well, they share the same link skills. But if, say, this blue guy had Infighter, and this guy, or she had Infighter in this slot, then they would get the bonus there, but that doesn't matter. But these 5, so if you want to click on one of these, you can see link skill fix key +1. So that means when you have these green or activated, you will get these bonuses with the link skill effect. So she will get key +1. I'm not going to complete this event because I don't really need to. But you can get bonuses from those link skills. Some give ATK, key, defense, some other stuff. But those are the basics of link skills. But categories are a bit different. They don't have anything to do with linking, so you can put them wherever on your, like, in your rotation. They don't need to be linked together. But these are just for like pretty much passives. So like I said, if we come to the new trio, they want to be, what is it? It says at the bottom, if there's another movie heroes or all-out struggle category ally attacking in the same turn. So when we put them on the team, we want them to be on a rotation with units that are movie heroes or all-out struggle, so they can give the bonuses. That's all the categories are for. Is just to make bonuses off of passives and whatnot. They don't actually do link skills. I think that should cover everything in the units. Now, team-wise, like I said, you want to do the leader skill. You want to build your team off of a leader skill. That is how it's always, I don't know if it's always been. That's how it's, since I've been playing, it's always been that way. So, for instance, this Bardock, Team Bardock category, key +3 in HP, ATK, and defense 120%. So that means all these units are getting those buffs because they're on Team Bardock. Now, for example, you might hear a person use the term 200% lead, 200% leader, something like that. That just means that because right now the highest so how it says 120, the highest that it's been is 200%. So that means units like these, I think these guys are 200% leader. Yeah, these guys are 200% leader because it's 170 plus 130 if their movie heroes are connected hope. But pretty much those are the guys you want to look out for leaders. I'm going to cover events first. Now in the beginning, unless you want those hidden potential, like purple orbs or whatever we were talking about for the hidden potential system, I would stay out of this for now. Stay out of this one and stay out of challenge unless you're trying to awaken your unit. But I would still stay out of the challenge tab because in the beginning you won't be needing these. Now in the Grow tab, this is where you can get some pretty easy stuff. These are the I completely forgot to mention this. There are different types of equipment orbs. There are, I don't know what they're called, but there's normal and then there's the infinite, which means, so say for instance this one, and then take these two right next to them. There's this one and this one. This one has the infinite symbol and this one doesn't. So when you put this one on to a unit, if you take it off, it destroys itself. But if you put on this one with the infinite and then take it off, it'll still like remain. So you want to be careful with these types because you need to be sure that you're not going to take it off. But as I was covering in the growth, you can get some EX skills for uncontrollable power, like we said in the categories. These are only skill orbs for the uncontrollable category, which is new. This one you can clear for some free dragon stones, some other stuff. This is just pretty much some free stones, but this is a gacha game, so how do I get dragon stones? I want a new character or whatever. Well, your main way is this right here, quest story. Pretty much clear all of this on the highest difficulty possible, and these will give you a bunch of dragon stones. And then once you finish those, you can do the Dragon Ball story, do all these, and then you can do the event stories, which are these. And these, like, always do these on the highest difficulty because those will give you the most dragon stones and other rewards. And then those are how you mainly get dragon stones, which you can use on whatever banner you want. Now right now I wouldn't touch these three right now or the world tournament just because they're not really useful to you right now. You can look at another guide of like what they are. We can cover the exchange shop. We've already covered the skill orbs or the equipment. We've covered the Zenny. These are pretty much just random things that you can come up here. I'll go over something first. So the summon shops, there are different types of summons as you can see up here on the tabs. Friend points are pretty much useless except in the beginning you can get some free. If you click right here on this featured thing, you can see what is like featured. So you can get this LR unit. You can get this LR tag 18 and 17. And then you can get some Zenny off these statues for free. I don't do it because I don't really need anything from it. Ticket summons, pretty much you can get tickets from different locations on the game or areas, I guess. I would never do anything from this Dragonstone tab just because there isn't anything really worth it most of the time, but you want to do the recommended most of the time. Now in the Baba shop, treasure is where like most of the stuff is going to come from. If you see any of these, like you can pick up free units. Try to, just to like, if you're a new player, try to get like units that are on different categories. So that way, if you do get a leader skill that's like a one that you don't typically use, you're going to have backup units that you can throw on a team with a good leader skill, if that makes sense. But here you can get some like random stuff, whatever. Now there are different types of summoning banners. Banners is what we call one of these. Now, if you look at the top, it says coins. Now these are specific. I'm not going to go into the specific ones, but basically there are red coins, yellow coins, and also you click on this icon right here and you can like scroll through them. It's a lot faster. But basically red coins, blue coins, yellow coins, and then I don't know what these are for. I haven't seen any of those since I've started. But basically you can use these coins to pick up older units. You can't pick up a headlighting unit, so like I can't pick up one of these guys. I can, but I'm not going to go into the specifics of it. But you can't pick these guys up with normal red coins, and you get 10 per every 50 spent for every 50 dragon stones. So if I were to summon, I would get 10 dragon coins back, and you can use those to either get get older units or just save them for whatever. In the beginning, like when you first start out, try to do the first Shenron Dragon Ball like summon them, because then you can get like some free rewards. You can keep doing them, but I just didn't need the extra rewards. Now if you're like really struggling, or you don't want to summon on any banner and you're saving for whatever reason, you can come down into growth of the events tab, and you can do either the Team Bardock or Ginyu Force, like I was saying earlier. It's a free team, completely free, and you want to do 1 through 5, and then these each will give you a unit. Now each unit can be placed on a team like this, and then you can, once you do all 5, you can get the LR for free. Like you don't have to level it up or anything, you just get them outright free. And then you have a full team, and you don't have to summon at all. And then you can use this team to either redo it to try to advance this team to get more copies of those units to rainbow them like I have, or you can do, maybe you pulled a unit and you just can't clear the challenge, maybe you can clear them with that team. Some more tips, so like say for example you're just in a mission, so some more tips, or like say you're doing this one for the EX skill orbs tickets, and you're like, well, I don't know which unit I should bring on the friends list, because friends lists are a big thing. So what you can do is you can hit this like respin thing, and it'll give you a unit that they think will be best. Now later on, you're gonna want to choose a specific unit, whether that be a double, like another Beast Gohan or whatever, but that's not really carrying. But this is another Bardock, so he does fit on the leader skill. You want to make sure that your friend list or friend unit still fits on your leader skill. Okay, so you might hear someone say, well, he's attacking in slot 2, he's attacking frame 1, he's doing whatever. But basically, they mean, if you look down here, I don't think it shows where I'm clicking, but right here, next to him, you see a Whis icon, because you're fighting Whis. That means where they're going to attack. Now, certain units, or certain like battles, super attack. They will super attack your units, and they can do a lot of damage. But that's how you see like when the enemy is attacking, pretty much. If you are running out of stamina, a good way is just by leveling up. So what I did in the beginning was I just went to this quest mode, and I just farmed up these, because if you come in here, it's 4 times XP. So doing one of these gives you a lot of XP. So you can get XP from these missions as well. Or not XP, you can get Dragon Stones. So like these, for reaching level 480, I'm 463 right now, I can get 5 free Dragon Stones. And just by leveling up, you get more stamina. It can overflow. So like right now I have 175 of 174. You can overflow. If you run out of box space, which is pretty much units, you can sell units. So like if you go to sell, you can scroll through up here at the top, and then that'll allow you can sell certain units. So like this SSR Janemba I don't want, so I can just sell them, and that'll free up my box space. At the bottom you see 484 535. That's your box space. Or if you rainbow a unit, even though this is kind of more like advanced, you can sell them for whatever. Say for instance, I have rainbowed, I don't have everyone, but say I have an additional Zamasu I pulled. Now I've already rainbowed them, so I don't really have a need for them. Now I could turn him into the TOR as a collection, but I don't really care about collection. So I'll just sell him, and I'll get more red coins back, so I can use them to buy older units that I either don't have or I need more of. If that makes sense. This took 15 minutes, and my voice is really hurting, so I would appreciate a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comment, and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. And yeah, it's been a Mega, guys. Later.